Hey, good afternoon. I'm meteorologist Ben Peine. I guess it's not been at 10, it's been at 1 p.m. As we're going to be taking a look at the snow arrival. And of course, a final look, a final tally of the snowfall prediction and ice prediction for Kentucky. Unfortunately, there's going to be some sleet and ice in this equation as well. Already starting to see a little bit of accumulation on the roads out to our west. There you can see that in Evansville. That's with the Indiana 511.org camera. So you can go to 511in.org, which I recommend that you do that because it's really cool. Let's check this out. So let's bring it up here. So this is 511in.org. And again, you can play along. And what's cool about this, look at all of the folks at work here, already in their plows and ready to go. All of these blue circles are plow cameras. And through the entire storm, they will be giving you, not quite live, but like a few minutes late, some of these pictures. So here's a look out towards Indiana 62 in Evansville, where we're starting to see a little bit of that accumulation. So it will stick immediately on contact because of how cold it is. And again, there you can see some of that light accumulation in southern Indiana. So, hey, it's on the way. It's pretty much right on time. I got a report, a comment on Facebook that Brandenburg was starting to see some light snow. We'll take a look at the radar here as well. There you can see it beginning to head our direction. Very, very light for today, by the way. Don't expect much today, only maybe an inch or two through the daytime today. The snow machine is really going to start to crank up overnight, and really tomorrow morning is when I expect most of the heavy accumulation of snow across our area. So long duration system, and it's still developing. So there you can see how wide this thing is starting to be, and it's just going to continue to enlarge and get bigger and bigger, and eventually might get if we get some 1 inch per hour snowfall rates tomorrow morning, you might hear a thunderclap, meaning some thunder snow. They got about an inch of snow in southwestern Kentucky. That's in Callaway County, Kentucky. So we're getting some snow reports here. Southern Illinois, where this is obviously coming from, about an inch of snow on the ground from that initial batch of snow. Our friends in St. Louis got about half inch of snow there. So again, not a big deal with the snow amounts, although, again, as I mentioned, it won't take much to cause some slick roads. Even just an inch could cause some slick roads out there. So a little bit of time if you need to get out and about through the daytime today with the roads, not too bad. A funny story, I can tell you it's extremely cold out there as well. My wife, Sarah, just got back from Arby's. Double roast beef with the Arby's sauce and the horsey sauce. But when she was in the drive-through, the car window decided not to roll back up, so she drove back home, and with a extra wind chill. But we did get the window back up. Let's see who's tuning in here this morning as we are looking at, again, the approach, the very beginning of the snowstorm. And I don't know if you're like me, you've been watching the data a lot, already worn out. And it really hasn't even started snowing yet with this storm. So I'm ready to get it over with. I'm ready to get this snow on the ground. So we've got light flurries that have started in Louisville in the Audubon Park neighborhood. Thank you, Aaron Little, for that report right there. Flurries in Trimble County, Kentucky. Hey, why are you getting flurries and I'm not? Marydale, right on time. Thank you. Yeah, we're just starting to get that light snow as expected this afternoon. And what's interesting about that, I think it was maybe Tuesday, we were talking about Saturday afternoon when this would start. So it really does amaze me, the weather model data that we have, whether you trust it or not. It is amazing technology that pure mathematics can predict the future like this, and have done a pretty good job so far. Obviously, we'll see how much snow is on the ground. There is some discrepancy. Again, we'll look at the snowfall totals here, the latest, in just 1 second. Just want to show you the initial conditions and some of the flurries that have started across the area. You probably heard the nose of a warm layer aloft. And so we're going to have to watch that in Kentucky. Right now, the model consensus is the Bluegrass and Western Kentucky Parkway. So around Elizabethtown and north, mostly snow. But there's some data that shows that sleet layer coming up to the Ohio River. If we get any sleet, that will cut into your snowfall totals dramatically. So there is going to be a gradient in snowfall totals, a tight gradient in Kentucky. Wherever that sleet is going to be a dramatic change in the snowfall amounts. So we're going to have to watch it there if we get some sleet to mix in early tomorrow morning, especially around the Ohio River to the Bluegrass and Western Kentucky parkways. Now, south of the parkways, as we get to the Cumberland Parkway, you guys need to watch out for ice. There is a prediction of around a quarter to maybe a half inch of ice in southeastern Kentucky and southern Kentucky. So that's going to be a problem in those areas. Okay. Angela McCaffrey says, hi, it better amount to something and not leaving me thinking I braved the store for this. Yeah, we should be getting some good stuff tomorrow. It's going to be pretty light for today. Terry Joe King has some flurries flying in Mount Washington. Thank you for that report right there. And hello to Beverly Haggis from across the Borden Valley. We're waving to you out the weather window 5000. And I'm still waiting to see my first flurry out there right now. Okay, Darlene Hall got the Pepsi bottle ready to measure the snow in Pekin. Very much. Thank you very much. I got a buddy who measures it with a bullet bourbon bottle. And you end up seeing the bourbon going away and the snow going up. What are your thoughts on the sleet? Do you think it'll be possible to shift back south in Valley Station? There really is no shift. The data still is pretty consistent with some sleet. I would say a couple. We just got to watch a couple counties north and south of the parkways in Kentucky. Somewhere in that zone, I think we're going to get some sleet, and that'll tear into the snowfall totals. Hey, Barbara Stevens from Paoli, thanks for tuning in here, and Diane Miller, hello from the bubble, the back deck bubble. Steve Givens, 12:30. It started at 12:30 in Brandenburg, so about a half hour ago. The driveway and street already covered. Hey, thank you for that report there, Stephen, in Brandenburg. And Linda coming in from Spencer County just got some snowflakes started. So Kentucky's seeing more of that snow so far, as we're still waiting for it here in Clark County. At least I am. Barbara Stevens, snowflakes starting in Paoli just now. Oops, there's that comment right there. And Linda's comment there in Spencer County, flurries in Valley Station. Thank you for that report. Just had the Dennis said that just had to stop. Not a drop yet. That Kimberly Ferris, not it is snowing in Taylorsville. Thank you very much. James Spencer, is the sleet going to take snow totals way down in Mount Washington? I think you're good with the snow, but again, between the Ohio River and the Bluegrass Parkway, we're going to wait and see. We're out to see. I don't know. Somewhere in that area, I think the snowfall totals will take a hit. You're close. You're close there in Mount Washington. We'll just have to wait and see tomorrow morning if we're getting that sleet to mix in. Lillian Lisley got some snow there at the house and 13 degrees. That's the thing about the snow here today, is that it is going to be very dry and fluffy snow, and it will stick immediately on contact. And the snow today is going to be light, maybe an inch or two during the daytime today, and then we'll get the real accumulation happening tomorrow morning. Snow gauge is ready there in Salem, Indiana. Thank you, Melvin. And James saying, sleet, stay away. I agree. Snowing in Cloverport. Thanks for that report there. Mimi, jewelry box. I will not be confident on the sleet line. Right now, we're just kind of thinking in a general area, again, around the parkways, hopefully not north. Hi from Irvington, Kentucky. LaDonna Paulson, thanks for tuning in here. Hey, we got another Ben. How you doing? Thanks for tuning in here this morning. Just got some snow there in Taylorsville, Shelbyville, nothing yet. Snow is flying in Meade County. Thank you for that report. Christy Marie, thanks for tuning in here this morning. And Denise Hapling coming down to Fisherville, Kentucky. Light snow in Okolona. Appreciate all these reports, guys. All right, let's get to that forecast, and we'll get back to some more comments here in just a moment. So there's a look at some of that snow on the way. That's the composite radar. And real quick, I'll just bring up the live radar as well. And again, we're still expecting a pretty big snow across the area for most of us, as long as you don't get that ice to mix in. So this is some light stuff here. There you can see it starting to spread in west of I-65 in Indiana, and then Kentucky seeing more of that snow so far. And here are the briefing slides from the National Weather Service. If you haven't seen these, So there you go. It's all everybody shares the joke like 0 to 72 inches of snow, making fun of the weather people, but it's just reality. Kentucky is looking at three. You can see on the top one, 3 to 15 inches plus, depending on location. Because in southeastern Kentucky, you're looking at icing, taking down the snow totals, and then in northern Kentucky and up towards Louisville, that's where you're looking at the potential of 15 inches of snow. That's the top map. We got a lot of graphics we're going to show you here, so stay here and feel free to ask questions. I'll try to get to as many comments as possible. Okay, and then the bottom graphic is your ice. And this is not sleet. This is clear, freezing rain, ice. So freezing rain is definitely different than sleet. Sleet is the little ice pellets that fall from the sky. Freezing rain is rain, just regular rain, but it freezes on contact. So we're looking at around a quarter to possibly 3/4 of an inch of ice south of the Bluegrass Parkway, southeastern Kentucky, and more so around the Cumberland Parkway. So not a good situation there. Winter storm warning in effect on the right side. Just going through some of this text here for you through early Monday morning. Major impacts are expected with large snow and ice totals. There'll be major impacts to roadways, utilities, daily life, power outages possible, and roadways are expected. Now, those power outages, more so off to the southeast, where we see the snow, the ice in Kentucky. All pretty much snow, thankfully, in Indiana. We already went through those totals. Storm uncertainty. The storm track has remained fairly similar over the last 24 hours, and confidence in the transition zones between snow, sleet, and ice is increasing. So that's good. Dangerously cold temperatures, near or below zero temperatures, and wind chills through midweek. If the power is out, this will be very impactful. No doubt about that. So for the National Weather Service, what has changed since yesterday? Significant ice accumulations increase across southern and eastern Kentucky, up to 3/4 of an inch of ice possible for south central Kentucky. You might be hearing my dog Annie walking across the kitchen floor right now. Snowfall totals. So we've got in the darker orange there for much of our area, 12 to 15 inches plus. And then 8 to 12 inches north of the Bluegrass and Western Kentucky parkways. And then you get south of the parkways, you see the snow totals reduced as we mix in sleet and freezing rain. Sorry if I'm repetitive, just trying to tell you all the information here. Snowfall, I like this graphic right here because I don't think that I've ever seen this from the National Weather Service. They're telling you the kind of the character of the snow that we are going to get. So for today, the snow ratios are really high. That's the blue on the left, and that means dry and fluffy. It is just going to be light snow today, like, again, as I mentioned earlier, like an inch or two. So don't be surprised if you're not too excited about the snow today. But tomorrow, when you wake up, there's going to be a lot of snow on the ground as the snow machine really starts to crank and turn up overnight tonight and early tomorrow morning. Snow ratios on Sunday. So snow ratios are going to be lower as it gets just a little bit warmer, especially in Kentucky. That means it's a wetter snow. You get more moisture in the snow, but still a pretty dry snow over Indiana. So not the best snowball or snowman making snow for many of us as it initially falls. And then this is a look at the ice totals. And this is showing, again, kind of along the Bluegrass and Western Kentucky Parkway, some light icing. And then you go south, and then that's where we get into the more serious zone of some icing, perhaps around a half inch, maybe even a little bit more there. Hey, Libby Atchison from J-Town, not seeing anything there yet. And taking another peek out the weather window 5,000, and I don't see any flakes yet for me. So we've got dangerously cold air. That is the other part of this story. I know it's hard to see because there's so many numbers here, but these are all the towns in our area. And then the days of the week, and then the forecast low temperature, which Monday and Tuesday mornings show negative numbers for the actual temperature. And the wind chills in the negative teens Monday and Tuesday. Real deal cold for a long time. I think we're in a cold pattern through at least the first week of February. I'm going to have to look up this data pretty soon and kind of look at what is the record cold stretches, because we were below freezing yesterday, at least 8 days in a row below freezing. Hey, Desi, get down. Desi's trying to get some food off the counter. She is not allowed to do that. So crazy. I shared this yesterday, just how large the winter storm area is, all the way from what was that? New Mexico through the southern plains, through the Ohio Valley, the Midwest, up to the Mid Atlantic and the Northeast. 20 something states under the winter storm warning, and then south is an ice storm warning over parts of eastern Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, western North Carolina. There's going to be a lot of issues there, and eastern Tennessee. Won't be surprised if we start to see some ice storm warnings in southeastern Kentucky as well. So, yeah, this is a big, big winter storm impacting millions of people across the United States. Something we can all share and be a part of here across the U.S. All right, here's just another look at some of the timing, and the timing has been pretty spot on. We were talking about afternoon time period is when some of the snow would begin. Just again, light today. There's that snow at 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. becoming more steady across the area. And then notice the ice line is in red, pinkish red color. That's sleet over the southern half of Kentucky. And then there's freezing rain in the purple color, there you can see later on tonight, over southeastern Kentucky. So I would imagine we might get some power outages tomorrow in parts of southeastern Kentucky. Our forecast today, snow beginning, light accumulations for today, north wind at 10 to 15, high of around 17. Basically where we're at is where we stay as far as the temperature through tonight. And we only get to around 22 for tomorrow. I'll just go low of around 15 tonight, steady snow, very cold, north wind at around 10 to 15. And your forecast tomorrow, an all-day snow. Enjoy the winter wonderland out there. Hopefully you're a snow lover. You're going to be very happy. 100% chance of snow all day tomorrow. 15 in the early morning, 20 at noon, 22 for the afternoon high. Yeah, a little bit warmer as you go south, but not warm. Less cold, I guess. 44 our normal high, 27 our normal low. Sunrise 7:53 and sunset at 5:57. Here's the 7-day forecast here for you in Burr. It is crazy cold. Again, I can't remember a stretch this cold for this long. I'm sure we've had one in the long time we've lived here, but I don't remember one this cold for this long. So we're down to 6 Sunday night, 12 Monday. The models don't do a great job forecasting when you've got a snowpack on the ground. But either way, it's going to be very cold. Down to 1 below zero, the actual temperature on the thermometer, but wind chill's probably negative teens going into Tuesday morning. So that Monday night low -1. Might get some flurries off and on. With this cold pattern, we have a northwest flow. If we get any little disturbances to move through, then we'll have some little bits of light snow every once in a while. 23 the high Tuesday, one of our warmer days. 9 Tuesday night, 22 Wednesday, down to 5 Wednesday night. There might be a little disturbance that moves through some light snow Wednesday night. Some of the models showing that. And then 19 on Thursday, down to 0 Thursday night, 21 Friday, down to 8 Friday night. Maybe a little system trying to give us some snow next weekend. I got 24 going Saturday, maybe down to -2 next Saturday night. Again, we are locked and loaded with a long-lasting cold weather pattern here for us. So again, that's your forecast there. I'm going to bring this back up as we start to see some of the snow beginning to spread into the area. Very light stuff. And we'll look at some of the weather model data here as well for you. I love what they put together here with, again, the 511in.org. If you want to go here as well, you can go to extolmag.com/weather, 24-hour weather resource right here for you. We got 14 degrees of current temperature, and a wind gust at 11 puts our wind chill at 2. So there's the brand new 7-day forecast that we just talked about on the page. We got weather stories there. There's a look at the national weather warnings across the United States. Tomorrow, there's actually a severe weather outlook for southern Alabama. So there could be some strong storms with the winter storm. Pretty crazy. And again, we might hear some. Let me know probably tomorrow morning if you hear some thunder. Thunder snow would be awesome. That's usually when you get about 1 inch or more snowfall rates per hour. And this is a look at the interactive map here, the interactive radar map, which is starting to show some of that snow. Initially, some of the snow is getting eaten by some dry air at the surface, but the heaviest snowfall rate's actually down in Tennessee right now. So this is the initial batch. And this system is just still developing. So this is actually going to fill in later tonight. So it's not just like it's a thing and then it moves across an area. It's actually developing as we go. So let's we can bring up the other data here. It's crazy. Again, these are all just winter storm warnings, winter storm watches, ice storm warnings. I got area temperatures on here, loading up a lot of data. So let's take a look. What do we have here? This is, oh, that's the winter storm watch, winter storm warning. Yeah, just different colors of the winter storm warnings. Get your winds flowing in from the north and just bitterly cold temperatures all across the region. We've got you also linked up again to the current Indiana weather and traffic. Kentucky has very similar plays. You can look at Trimark if you want to take a look at the road conditions. And if you want to venture out, it's not a bad idea to look at that. Live look out there now at the cloudy conditions here with the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera, looking to see if I can see any of those snow. I did see one flyby. I'm seeing a little bit of the flurries here looking toward Louisville over the Ohio Valley and the Falls of the Ohio and the fossil beds right there. So back here to Evansville, where they've been getting that snow first. Again, I love the snow plow cams. So there's a look at that snow starting to cover up the roads out towards Evansville, Indiana. So it is on the way, heading our direction. So let me check out some comments here. So we've had Sheila with a hello. Thanks for tuning in here this morning. Let me go. Let's bring up the radar again. Just showing some light snow across the area. And the RadSat also has some of the snow reports. If I see any new snow reports, I'll put them on here. Let me go and get rid of the satellite so we can just kind of clean this up. So they're out. Look, I'm seeing like 3-inch reports out west. Nothing big with this initial batch. Again, we'll see the heavier snow later on tonight. All right. Going to bring this up full screen as well. So thanks for joining us, guys. This is our live show. If you the first time you've been watching, I do a show every day at 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. If you ever want to tune in, it's been at 10 right here on my page. Thanks for watching. Whether it is on my page on Meteorologist Ben Peine or Extol Weather on Facebook or EXTOL Media on YouTube. So I see somebody watching from YouTube here. So thanks for liking or subscribing. Thanks for just hitting the like button. We appreciate that. It helps us go farther out there on the internet. We've got nothing in Clark County. I agree with you, Katie, as I don't see anything as well. Some of these comments were about 15 minutes ago, so things could change between now and then. So Mark Ludford, we've got some flurries there in Shepherdsville. Driveway already covered in Hardinsburg. So that's one of the big points to make here is that it will not take much to cause some slick conditions out there. The pavement temperatures are all below freezing. There is nothing that will stop it from freezing on contact. And again, a shout out to my wife, Sarah, for getting the Arby's here and the window not rolling up and freezing her butt off as she drove home. Carmel Ritchie, roads are covered in Elizabethtown. Thank you for that report. I'll have to bring up the Trimark pictures and take a look at that here in just a second. Hello, Katie Lukens. Thanks for tuning in. No snow in Lawrenceburg yet. Waiting on that. We got the snow in Lebanon, Kentucky. Thank you very much, Danville. Teresa Landreth, roads already covered. Where's that, Teresa? Oh, Brandenburg. Thank you very much. And trying to bring up these comments as they come up. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the rad stat here. Oh, and we haven't even looked at some of the model data. We'll take a look at that here in just a second as well. I do want to bring up the the Trimark images. If you're not venturing out, we could take a look at the cameras here together. This is Trimark And let's go ahead. Let's go down to our friends in Elizabethtown here. Boom, there you go. Kentucky getting that snow. So that's a look at I-65, or no, actually that's the Western Kentucky Parkway, just to the west of Elizabethtown. It's starting. Ashley Vincent, nothing in Indiana yet. In Salem, Indiana, I agree. I'm not seeing anything either at the moment. If we do get sleet, when will it arrive in Louisville? It would be overnight and early tomorrow morning. Hey, Jim Scholl, what up, Big Daddy? Looking forward to getting the golf clubs out eventually, one day into the future. You're welcome, Katie. Thanks for tuning in here this morning. We'll look at the models here in just a second if you want to stick around. It's kind of fun to look at the latest data, but I think around a foot of snow is going to be possible for many of us, with maybe some, let's see, more than that. Like we got light snow in southern Indiana there for Cindy Fleece, and nothing at Hikes Point yet. That's kind of interesting because there must be some little bands here and there because we're getting steady snow in some areas and some areas not. Broke out the space heater in Madison, Indiana. We got the wood stove cranking here. Oh, there goes that snapshot. We timed out. We'll look at another. There's I-65. This is all Elizabethtown stuff. Ooh, that's a pretty good looking camera right there. Looking pretty snowy on I-65 there through E-Town. I got some snow for about an hour in Eastview. You guys are lucky. You're getting the snow first. Snowing like crazy in Glendale, Kentucky. Powdery fine snow in Hodgenville. Nothing here in Germantown, Louisville. It's going to be coming very soon. Katie, thanks for sharing our live show here this morning. Dan's got no snow. Patty, thanks for tuning in here this morning. Let's look at some more comments. Where's downtown Louisville? Hasn't even snowed yet. It's coming. Kayak sledding. Tammy, avoid the kayak sledding. You're not allowed. I won't say who, but someone may have really injured themselves going down these steep hills in a kayak. I won't say who. Charlotte, thanks for tuning in here this morning. Alice Young from Lebanon. Josh says, so far, they wrong when they said the snow was going to start. It was going to be 1 p.m. The snow is already here, but it's not falling yet. Josh, that makes no sense. We've said it would start in the afternoon. It's starting. Robin Edwards, will we get thunder snow? I think thunder snow is going to be possible, especially overnight, early tomorrow morning when the snow really picks up. Again, typically when you get about an inch per hour snowfall rates, you can start to maybe get a little thunder snow. I've only heard it like once or twice in my life, so I'd love to hear that happen. Sleet and freezing rain is an entirely different ballgame. You are correct. So that's going to be central southern Kentucky potential. Hey, Nathan, thanks for tuning in here this morning. Bring on spring. What is it, 56 days away? And JK's, thanks for tuning in here this morning as well. Again, Josh, it's on the way. Pamela, nothing in Smithfield, Kentucky. Thanks for all the comments here, guys. I'm trying to get to all of them. I'll take a break from the comments here in just a second, and we'll get to the weather model data. Let's go ahead and get to the weather model data. And I'm going to push this slide back here. Okay. Real quick, before we get to that weather model data, I want to thank one of our new partners here at Clogbusters. That's Busterz, clogbustersplumbing.com. They can get you help, your services right here all over Kentucky. So reach out if you have any issues there. Lionsroofingco.com. You wouldn't believe it. They work even in the very cold conditions all the time, trying to get all those roofs repaired. And on there, you can get a quote here if you want to go to lionsroofing.com or 812-294-3595. I also want to thank our partners where we were live yesterday at Ivy Tech Community College. There's a lot going on there. If you want to enroll, register, learn more, how to pay for it, maybe career coaching, maybe find a new career. There you go. Ivy Tech Community College can help you out. So let's go here too. This is, if you want to play along here, this is weather.cod.edu. I've talked about this a lot this week. I've used this for like 25 years. Just a really simple site. Free to use if you ever want to check it out. I've got the HER weather model, the high resolution rapid refresh weather model. So now we're into the high resolution model data. So this shows this is 10 p.m. It shows like 2 inches of snow. a little bit lighter north of 64, a little heavier off to the south. So light amounts for today. And then we're going through the overnight here. I'm going to stop this at around 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. This shows about 5 to 10 inches on the ground tomorrow morning as you wake up at around 7 a.m. And as we go into the afternoon, I'm going to stop it here at about mid-afternoon tomorrow. This shows it shows 14 to 18 inches of snow. Now, also, this is right here. This is the Bluegrass and Western Kentucky Parkway. Very interesting that it follows basically right along that. South is your much lower snowfall totals. It only shows like 2 to 4 inches down there because you're going to get sleet and freezing rain. North of the parkways is still showing that, I mean, it's showing 10 to 18 inches. That's not all. So it continues through Sunday night. That shows over a foot of snow for many of us. So that's one of the high resolution weather models. Let me get rid of, no offense, Pamela, but let me get rid of your comment there. It's coming. Devin asking, will sleet cause issues? Sleet will cause issues as far as snow amounts. Freezing rain causes bigger issues than sleet. All the roads will be slick and hazardous across the region. So that's the HER weather model. Now, we don't want to see this model, I'm guessing, because this is the NAM 3-kilometer weather model. And the problem with this weather model is that it's showing a little farther north push with this system, and I don't really believe it necessarily. Indiana, still north of I-64, shows a bunch of snow. This shows like, I don't know, 6 to 15 inches. But then you get south of Louisville. This mixes in the sleet and freezing rain a little farther north than the parkways. So if this solution happens, then the snowfall totals will be a little bit lower Ohio River south. But this is the farthest north solution that I've seen. Maybe a little bit out to lunch. This is they're called the WRAP weather model, and this is another higher resolution weather model. And this shows north of the parkways. I'm seeing 13 to 19 inches on this weather model. We'll bring up the good old European weather model. This shows this is not as finer resolution because it's a global model. The last 3 models that I showed you have a higher resolution, so the details aren't as fine here. But hey, give it up to the Euro. Since I think it was Tuesday, I was showing those map comparisons, and it was the more accurate weather model, at least so far, as the GFS had to catch up as we were comparing and contrasting. All right, so this shows over a foot of snow, and then the GFS weather model is also showing a foot of snow. So there's all the model data. Now, let me go back to the HER weather model. I think it's one of the better solutions here. And this is the freezing rain accumulation. And again, it might be a county or two north or south of the Bluegrass and Western Kentucky Parkway. So north of Elizabethtown, north or south, it's kind of dividing line right now between ice and snow. This shows the ice accumulation, which shows a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch of ice over the southeastern, almost half of Kentucky. So that would be the issue there. So that's the data. That's what we're looking at here so far, and it's been pretty solid all week long. If you ever want to ask me a question, you can email me, ben@extolmag.com, ben@extolmag.com, or if you want to learn about advertising and marketing solutions, you can do that there as well. Been watching that snow starting to cover up the roads there in Evansville. And let me get to a few more comments here that have been popping in. Tim Hager's got it coming down in Brandenburg. Thank you for that report there. We talked about the sleet. Dwayne's got the snow in Georgetown, Indiana. Thank you very much. I'm still waiting. I thought it'd start snowing during my show, but I still don't see any flakes out there. Still waiting for the weather window 5000 to show some flakes. The birds are all puffed up out here on the feeders because it's so cold outside. Okay, we've got Lynn Fry here. Thanks for tuning in this morning. You expect the ice storm warning for Hardin County, Kentucky. I don't think we'll see an ice storm warning. They'll probably just keep it a winter storm warning. Within the winter storm warning, they'll mention a light glazing of ice for Hardin County. Katie's saying drip the faucets. Probably a good idea. Need to keep the garage door closed as well. And you got it right. We had Brad Weddington of Weddington Custom Homes on Wednesday with Wednesdays with Weddington, and we talked about unhooking, like winterizing and unhooking the hoses. And guess what? As always, I forgot to unhook the hoses. I guess I could go out there and do that right now. All week long, negative wind chills. Not all week long. When the winds calm down, then we won't have negative wind chills. But it looks like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday mornings, some negative wind chills around the area, and just extremely cold for the next week. We'll load up the forecast graphics here for you, and then we'll wrap up the show here. Again, if you're new to the program, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking or subscribing. You can watch our weather show every day. It's Extol Weather, Extol Media, and on my page, Meteorologist Ben Peine. And it's every day at 10 a.m., Monday through Friday. So push it away quicker, please. Denise Redmond, our bathroom faucet will be on around the clock for 7 days. There you go. Katie saying it'll be dripping all week long. Bertha Turner, thanks for watching here from Simpsonville. Snowing in Bardstown. Thank you for that report there. Kathy, Lily, and Sherry Coyne has just started to snow in Clarksville. So it's coming in from the southwest. So I'm up here in Borden, Indiana. I still don't see any snow just yet. All right, we've got snow for Patty Brown in Hardinsburg. Katie, thanks for watching from the Danville area. Jania is ready for the snow. This thing has been wearing me out. Been trying to get to all the comments, of course, all week long, and provide the best information I can. But I don't know if you're the same way, if you've been just kind of paying attention and trying to keep up with this. It's barely started to snow, and I'm ready for it to be over with. It's been a long week. Okay. Why is this wrapping around me? All right. Janine Desarn from Brooks, Kentucky. You got some snow there. Thanks for that report. Lillian, thank you very much from Litchfield, and thanks for your report in Litchfield, Kentucky. Leo saying we had a rough cold spell in 1962. Walking to the neighborhood store, 18 below. Updated totals. We just went through that with the latest data. Again, a foot or more still in the forecast here for us. Cheryl Boone asking how much snow. A lot of comments I'm trying to get to, guys. Louisville's still over a foot, it looks like. Shepherdsville just starting to get some of that snow. Rich Carlson, the famous Rich Carlson from the Oklahoma Fire Department. Former chief, leave the cabinet doors under the sinks open. Never use torches to thaw pipes, and please remove snow around the hydrants. Expert tip right there. Kathy Scott from Trimble County, thanks for tuning in here. The side-by-side ready to go with the plow. Why did I never get a plow for my side-by-side? That's the question. But thankfully, we got great neighbors here, and we help each other out when the roads become snow-covered. Got some snow-covered roads there in Hodgenville. So let's go that way, actually. I'm going to go down here to Southern Hardin County. So this is I-65 at the 82 mile marker. Look at that. Let me put it on the camera here. Let me get rid of that and add this. So we're heading down that direction once this loads up here. Oh, I got to add it. There you go. That's kind of crazy. Usually you see a bunch of cars. Not many cars there on I-65, at least in that view right there. Let's see how far south we can go with the snow here. We're going down to Munfordville. Yeah, looking good there in Munfordville down there. So it looks like a plow. You can tell the plow went on one side and not the other. So getting the snow, the roads covered up there. We can go out west to Madisonville, Kentucky. And we can go out towards Henderson, Kentucky. So out towards the Evansville area. Some roundabouts there getting covered up with that snow. Right on time. We've been talking about for days coming in Saturday afternoon. It's going to be very light for today, by the way. Pardon me. Again, maybe some areas just like an inch or two for today, but then add maybe 12 inches of that for tomorrow. Okay, let's get to a final look at the forecast, and we'll wrap things up here because I think we've got all the information out there. So here's the latest slides from the National Weather Service. They're talking 3 to 15 inches of snow across the state. Why 3? Well, southeastern Kentucky is looking at more ice than anything. And then northern Kentucky up towards Louisville is where you're talking about the 15 inches potential. And then that graphic on the bottom, which we'll take a closer look at that here in just a second, is the ice potential of around a quarter to 3/4 of an inch of ice south of the Bluegrass Parkway. Dangerously cold temperatures. Number 4 on this list from their briefing, the storm uncertainty. The storm track has remained fairly similar over the last 24 hours. No big changes. The confidence in the transition zones between snow and sleet and ice is increasing. So most of the data, again, just north or south of the parkways in Kentucky is where we're going to see the sleet possibly impact those snow totals the most. There's a model or two out there that try to bring in some icing to the Ohio River. So that could impact snow totals a little bit if that happens. But most of the data keeps that ice transition down around Elizabethtown and south. And what's changed over the last 24 hours is the increase in ice over southeastern Kentucky. So there's kind of another look at southern Indiana through Kentucky. The snowfall totals, this is the very latest here from here, the National Weather Service. Kind of a cool graphic. Well, they don't think they've ever done this one, but this is the snow to liquid ratio. So how much water you have to produce the snow and how cold it is. Colder the temperature, the higher the snow ratio, the fluffier and drier the snow. So today it's kind of a dry, fluffy snow. And then tomorrow, a heavier, wetter snow over Kentucky, but still cold enough, I think, and over areas north of I-64 that it's still going to be kind of a dry snow, especially for southern Indiana. But then you may not even have snow around the Cumberland Parkway. It might be sleet and freezing rain. And this is the ice product right here. There you can see the red indicates over a 1/4 inch of ice. The dark red is 3/4 of an inch of ice. Cold is a big story here. We do not want any power outages. We never want power outages, but especially now because we're looking at negative numbers on the left side for many of our towns and communities around the area. That's the actual temperature on the thermometer. When you factor in the winds and what it could feel like, we're looking at negative teens at times this week. Rough out at the bus stop coming up this week, but hopefully we've got a day or so off of school. And what a large storm system this is, covering much of the United States. There in pink is the winter storm warnings, and then the dark, I guess, purple color, magenta maybe, is ice storm warnings down over parts of the deep south. Get a drink of water here. Let's just look at some of the timing with the snow overspreading the area this evening and through the nighttime. And the red color is your sleet. And then farther south in the purple is the freezing rain over southern Kentucky. Pardon me. 17 degrees are high today. So basically where we're at, temperatures are going to stay pretty level for the rest of today where they're at right now and through the nighttime. And then just go up slightly tomorrow. Today, we're just talking light accumulations and then some heavier, steadier snow overnight and tomorrow morning and all day tomorrow, really. So there's your 100% chance of snow tomorrow. 15 out the door, 20 at noon, 22 for the afternoon high. And the 7-day forecast, we've got down to 6 Sunday night, 12 Monday for the high temperature, -1 Monday night. Maybe some occasional flurries flying with this cold flow from the northwest, locked in a polar pattern. 23 for Tuesday, down to 9 Tuesday night. And then 22 for Wednesday. Maybe some light snow showers Wednesday night with a reinforcing shot of polar air, down to 5 Wednesday night. These are not wind chills. These are actual temperatures. 19 Thursday, down to 0 Thursday night. 21 Friday, 8 Friday night, and 24 Saturday. I'll have to look at the record books here, but I'm sure we've had longer, colder spells, but not very often. This might be one, maybe top 10. I'll have to go with the National Weather Service and check on that data and see where we're at as far as record numbers there. All right, look again at some current conditions across the area. I want to mention too, if you're just popping on, you can always get your weather information 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We've got a couple of different interactive maps with dozens of weather layers on them. Current conditions, you get your daily forecast, hourly forecast. So a lot of information here at extolmag.com. Also, while we're here, give a shout out here to Michael Long, my insurance agent, my mom's insurance agent. If you want a new insurance agent, want to get a quote, go here to amfam.com, search Michael Long. And proud to be an American Star Certified Agency Excellence in Customer Experience. You can give him a call for a quote, 812-578-3072. He's found many ways for us to say hello to my wife, Sarah, right there in the background. First time on the show. All right. And also, while we're giving shout outs here, give a shout out again. I mentioned Weddington Custom Homes. That's Brad Weddington. He built our house here. We do a segment called Wednesdays with Weddington every other Wednesday, and you can go to Weddington Custom Homes to learn more about that right there. Also, if you want to get an opportunity of the year 2026, you can go to libspaving.com. If you know somebody that needs an opportunity, maybe a new career, there's a career section here at libspaving.com, and you can apply there online. We got a new partner here in Kentucky, Clogbusters with a Z. Go to clogbustersplumbing.com for any of your plumbing needs. 859-495-3552. Bunch of great reviews there. Also, some great folks right here, Lions Roofing, lionsroofingco.com. Protecting your most valuable asset for a lifetime. You can call them 812-294-3595. And look at the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera with a live look at some snow. Reduced visibilities. There's the snow starting to come down in Louisville, Kentucky right now, and in southern Indiana. I was trying to hang on here long enough to where maybe we were seeing the snow outside of our window, but I don't see any just yet. Tracy saying, awesome wife, referring to getting the Arby's earlier with the window down. We got snow in Highview. Going to try to roll through these comments. There are a ton of them. Thank you so much, guys, for watching here. This I was going to say this morning. It's usually in the morning, but here in the afternoon here, 146, as the winter storm is just starting to begin. All right, I'm trying to get to where I was just at. I don't think the urban heat island will affect, Karen, the temperatures very much here with this Arctic air. It's coming, Pamela. Just a little bit longer for you in Smithfield, Kentucky. Kathy says the Bardstown's got the snow. Got the steady snow. Austin Reynolds there. Thanks for that report there in Campbellsville. Started at 1 p.m. in Fairdale. In New Hope in Nelson County. Thanks, Barbara, for that report there. Kay says it can snow in April, and technically it can snow in May. The record latest snow was in May. Oh, and Pamela says and May. There you go. Molly says snowing in South Louisville. Thank you very much. Hey, Josh Mabe. Good afternoon from the Mabes. Ready for some snow there in J-Town. David Baines, snowing in Borden. You see any snow out there? We're in East Borden. East Borden, we don't have. Oh, I see a little flake out there. Wait. I saw a little flake. I see it floating. Like a little flurry. Not much. Not much yet. But David's got the snow. All right. Snow in Elizabethtown, Fern Creek, snow, Beverly. Beverly Hornback, thanks for that report there. Beverly Peckinball, thanks for that tune. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for that report there from Fern Creek. Now it's snowing hard in South Louisville. Yeah, I can see the reduced visibility out there right now. Lynn Fry, thank you very much. Lillian, thanks for tuning in here this morning. As always, got a report live from my wife, Sarah. She sees some flakes outside here in the Borden Valley. Kathy McFarland, we got light snow in New Albany. Starting to cover the roofs and sidewalks. Thank you very much. Tim Cron with the New Albany Fire Department. Hello, friend. Remind people to clear the fire hydrants. There you go. Help out your local firefighters. Man, and let's just hope there's no fires throughout this. It is so rough for the firefighters when it gets this cold. I've seen it when they've been fighting fires with single-digit temperatures and just getting covered in ice. So prayers for safety for all of our firefighters out there. Lisa Marie from Shively, thanks for tuning in from Lively. Shively, very small flakes there in Daisy Hill. David says, same here. Robin Edwards, no snow in Germantown, but lots of birds in the feeder. You should be getting snow right now, though. That was at 1:36, so I'm about 10 minutes behind on these comments. I'm trying to get to them all. Brady Northcutt, been snow for about an hour in Shepherdsville. Looks like sleet in Shively. I think it's just snow. Jake K's got snow in Iroquois Park and in Brandenburg. Laura Day, thanks for tuning in here. Rita Harmon has the nothing there in Charlestown yet. All right, we got some tips here from Sherry Coyne. Charge up your batteries, cell phones, flashlights. If you have heat pumps, go ahead and turn on the emergency heat for the next week. Let those faucets drip. Leave the cabinet doors open under the sinks. Get a couple gallons of water just in case. Angie Long from Mount Washington, Kentucky has some coverage of snow there. Thank you very much. And Orlean Whitlow, you need to clean out around your heat pumps if the snow gets very deep. Good reminder there. Josh's Ohio Valley weather page in Charlestown. Pretty close to getting saturated. You are correct. And now I am starting to see, excuse me, more snowflakes out there. Anything on 71 North yet? It looks pretty clear on 71 North so far. We'll look one last time here. Man, that's some good snow on this camera right here at the Falls of Ohio. Deb Grant's got snow there in Valley Station. Love all the representation across the region here with the towns. Jen Arnold in Audubon Park. It's got the snow. 12 to 15 for here. Kathy Scott wants 12 to 15 inches. What snow total in Irvington, Kentucky? I would say about a foot of snow is possible. We just got to watch out south of the Ohio River if we get some sleet to mix in. Josh has the snow, and it's coming down good for Josh now. Glad you got the snow. We got the snow covering the pavement in PRP very quickly. Thank you, Ryan, for that report. Leo saying 3/4 of an inch of ice is scary. Yes, that can do power outages. That can bring down trees or limbs of trees in southeastern Kentucky. Back on again today. No, I think this is going to wrap it up for today. I don't have anything else to add today. And Robin Edwards snowing in Germantown. We're starting to see the ground getting covered up here along the waterfront too, as we look live here with the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera. Robin, hey, good to see you I want to say this morning again, this afternoon. Got the report of some snow in Germantown. Holly missed the totals. Snowfall totals in Fern Creek, like 12 to 15 inches, 10 to 15 inches, something like that. There's going to be a range in snow totals across the area, as always. But that's probably a pretty good bet. Yanka, snowing in Fairdale. Thank you very much. Boyd saying it snowed on Derby in 1989 or 90. You are correct. I think we had a little bit of wintry mix there at 89. Just got started the snow here. I'm starting to catch up with the comments. 1:48 p.m. was this comment from Robin Tishner from Crestwood. Got the snow there. Beverly Haggis got some snow there on Daisy Hill as well in Borden. Cheryl Cedars snowing in Jeffersonville. Hello, Tiffany. Thanks for tuning in here this morning. It's on the way very soon there for Madison as well. And Mother Nature canceled the trip to Florida. That would be a good time. Although the cold air is going all the way south as well. So maybe not the best time to be in Florida, perhaps. Donna Atcher from Mount Washington. Got the snow there. Snow in Okolona there for Doug Blevins. Thanks for tuning in here. Karen Razor, thanks for tuning in this morning. Dakota Masters, how much for the south side? You're in that 10 to 15 inch zone. Roads are getting covered up in Hodgenville. They're at 210 and nothing in Charlestown. 152, that last comment right there. It is on the way for you, Tracy, very, very soon. Let me see. We can go here to, again, really cool website is 511in.org. Look at all of the snowplows that are out. Every blue circle is a snowplow with a camera on it showing you the snow. So here's Corden, Indiana. It's showing a little bit of snow on the ground there. And then we go out west down 64. So we got the interstate camera here, but I kind of like the snowplow cams a little bit better. This was Central Time. This is 1:45 Eastern Time. And there you see the snow coming up the roads there out towards Perry County, Indiana. This is Ferdinand, Indiana, out towards Santa Claus. Let's check on our friends out here towards the Evansville region. There you go. Oh, that's kind of cool. There's a train and then a plow right there. Sarah's asking about Bloomington. We can bring up the IU campus camera. I don't think there's much in Bloomington because most of the snow is coming in from the southwest, but here's the live cam from IU Bloomington. This would be kind of a cool camera to look at tomorrow. I'm just seeing some flurries up there with the Bloomington camera. Not too far from Dennis Gregory and the Daily Viewer up there in Bedford, Indiana. Back to the Trimark cams, and then we'll wrap things up here on a Saturday, January 24th. Thanks for tuning in here, guys. If you're new to the program, thanks for the like or the share. Even just a like helps this spread around social media. Let's go to Bardstown, our friends in Bardstown. Beautiful city, Bardstown. There you can see some of the snow starting to cover up the Bluegrass Parkway and down over towards the Western Kentucky Parkway, just west of Elizabethtown. Very similar scenes. Just kind of a wispy, dry snow covering up the roads. And then we'll go to Shepherdsville. Very similar scene there in Shep. No, we haven't checked out Louisville yet. We can do that. We can go, not much there on the Waterson yet. So today, to sum this all up, very light snow today, like an inch or two. Overnight tomorrow morning is when the snow is really going to be cranking. Might get some thunder snow with the strength of this system. And let me get rid of this and add this back up. These are the briefing slides from the National Weather Service. Again, I got a couple questions here that just joined in, like Erica just joined. There you can see 12 to 15 inches plus in the dark orange, north of 64, south of 64 to the parkways, 8 to 12 inches. South of the parkways, lower and lower amounts as you mix in more sleet and ice. There is a chance of a little sleet mixing up into the Ohio River, but a lot of the models keep that south of Louisville. And then you're looking at freezing rains south of the Bluegrass Parkway, more so to the Cumberland Parkway in Kentucky, where you could see maybe a third of an inch of ice, which is not a third to 3/4 of an inch of ice. On the left is our dry, fluffy snow today. On the right, a little bit wetter snow as the temperatures get up a little bit warmer. But Indiana's kind of in the dry, fluffy snow zone, and that can really fluff up with those higher snow ratios. Here's the ice map showing up to 3/4 of an inch of ice for much of southeastern Kentucky. Again, south of the parkways, extreme cold with all of this, with negative numbers and -10 wind chills. That's going to be a big deal for the week ahead with the snow not going anywhere. It is not going to melt anytime soon. One of those hardy winter seasons here where that snow stays on the ground for a long time. I don't see anything above freezing for maybe in the next 8 days at least. Could stay pretty cold to the first week of February. Huge winter storm impacting millions of people across the United States, with dozens of states under winter storm warnings and winter and ice storm warnings. We just talked about that, Farron. Looking at, you're in the 12 to 15 inch range there for Valley Station and PRP. There's the snow at 7 p.m. on the left overspreading the area. And then that icing south of the parkways. Sleet is the red, and then the purple is the freezing rain. So today, where temperatures are now, they're really not going to move through tonight in the upper teens or so, mid upper teens. And tomorrow, or tonight, a steady snow. Tomorrow here, 22 the high temperature. North winds around 10 to 15. So not blizzard conditions. Shouldn't be a ton of blowing snow. But maybe out in the countryside, on some of the county roads, there could be some blowing snow across some of the fields. Here's your temperatures over the next 7 days. We've got 6 Sunday night, down to 12 for a high Monday, -1 Monday night, and -10 wind chills. 20. We'll have cold weather advisories there. 23 Tuesday, 9 Tuesday night, some occasional flurries with this cold northwest flow. 22 Wednesday, 5 Wednesday night, 19 Thursday, 0 Thursday night, 21 Friday, 8 Friday night, 24 Saturday, and -2 Saturday night. Crazy. crazy long cold spell that we have here. Okay, last few comments, and we'll wrap it up. Jamie Tracy, we got the snow there in Shelby County. Cars and porches are covered, which matches up with the cameras that we saw as well. We got snow covering Shelby Street. Thank you, Angela Michaels, for that. We got flurries in Fern Creek from Freddie Helm. Thanks for tuning in here. Sherry, I think I talked about that. Will not be back on later today. This will be it. I don't have anything else to share. This is the last of the forecasts for this winter storm. I feel like we've been talking about it for months and months, this winter storm. It's here. Thank you, Erica, for joining our show here this morning. Pamela saying, it's going to be bad when the farmers are pulling out early. Never seen that happen, except interesting, 94 and 04. Charlene Bishop gets snow there in Spencer County. Undo the hoses. We had some tips here from our firefighter friends as well. Rich Carlson, Oklahoma, and Zonton Fire Department. And Tim Cron from New Albany saying, open up the cabinets, faucet drip, clear the fire hydrants, help out your firefighters. Pamela sees the snow. And I haven't watched the news in almost a year, Scott, so I wouldn't know about that. So, but the forecast remains pretty much unchanged. I will say we'll have to watch the sleet line. That's the one fly in the ointments, the one bump in the road to the forecast. And any meteorologist you talk to, including the National Weather Service, is watching where that sleet will end up. Sleet destroys snow totals. So we'll see where that line sets up. Again, we don't know for sure, but somewhere near the Bluegrass Western Kentucky Parkways, a county or two north or south is where that could set up. There's an outlier weather model that says some of that sleet could come up to the Ohio River, but a lot of the data keeps it south. So we'll see. Let me know what happens. No one knows exactly what's going to be on the ground until it is on the ground. Sheila, everybody stay safe. Teresa Landers, no matter the accumulation, everybody just needs to be safe on the roads. Exactly. It really doesn't matter the exact amount of snow that you get in your backyard because the impacts are all the same. Snow-covered roads, if you're not comfortable with it, stay inside. Enjoy some quiet time. Enjoy the beautiful winter wonderland scenery that we're going to have around the area. Hey, if you're comfortable in the snow, have a ball out there. I don't mind driving in the snow. Cora, thank you so much for that. And Farron, we'll leave it with that. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shall we do one last look outside and that'll be it? We have, that's not it. Last look at the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera, and it's coming down pretty good. Thanks for tuning in. And again, there are several spots where you can watch the show Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. It's been at 10. We do this right here every single Monday through Friday. Follow my page, Meteorologist Ben Peine. You can also follow Extol Weather, Extol Weather, and extolmag.com/weather online. And you can also find us on YouTube, EXTOL Media. We are live on YouTube. Bring it up full screen, big screen in your house on YouTube. There you go, guys. That has been our afternoon show, our special edition afternoon show with the approach of the winter storm. If you have pictures of snow, please go ahead and post them in the comments on my page, Meteorologist Ben Peine, or you can always email me as well. If you want to email me some pictures, I'd love to share those. And we often share the snow reports with the National Weather Service. They, of course, like to gather all of that data. And again, this is where you can contact me. What is going on with these slides here? Let me get back to that. I'm clicking a button too fast, I think. There we go. Oops. We're going to get this to work here. There we go. There it is. Okay, so EXTOLMAG.com, Ben at extolmag.com. Not only you can contact me, send me some of your snowy pictures here over the next day or two, but also if you want to learn about advertising and marketing solutions throughout Kentucky and Indiana, you can do so right there, and we can talk about it. We can be your megaphone throughout the area. We get advertising and marketing solutions, and we've been reaching millions of views per month. and not just on my page, but also the power of Extol Media and Extol Weather throughout the region. Thank you guys so much for tuning in here this afternoon. And we'll leave it with Pamela's comment right there. You guys have a good one. Enjoy the big winter storm of 2026.